Hello, Aries, and welcome to your ASMR July 2020 Tarot Forecast. So, first of all, I'd like for you to concentrate all of the negative feelings, hard emotions, anything that you'd like to get rid of from the past month or so. Just ball it all up, send it right into the flame. Awesome. Thank you. Now, what do I have this month? I have a couple of quartz crystals. And I have this really beautiful rainbow moonstone, which is a type of labradorite. Hopefully you'll be able to see that on camera really well. The beautiful colors. I like it very much. And then I also have this is a box full of opals and turquoise chunks, and I'm going to use this for clarification. I also have this flashlight. And this tarot deck. So the way that I'm going to pull cards this month is we're going to do a manifestation focused reading. And I'm going to lay out cards in a grid, sort of. We'll see how many cards. It might be different for every sign. We'll just have to see. Ooh. What's this? Knight of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. So this could be you and a romantic partner. These could both represent aspects of your personality, or it could be you and a work associate. Pentacles are money, of course. Pentacles are also earth signs, so this could be an earth sign in your life, the Queen of Pentacles. Wands are fire energy. So this could be you, or I mean, it could also be a Leo or a Sagittarius. All right. But I'm not going to lay those out on the table. We'll see if they come back around again. Yeah, that feels right. Let's start in the middle. So the middle we have the Ace of Pentacles. So that's more Pentacles energy. This could be a new job or a new type of work. So that's interesting. What do we have next? We have the Five of Pentacles. So basically what the grid is things that are beneath. This is going to be your significator card. Things that are beneath your significator are things over which you have more control, and things that are above your significator you have less control. And then things to the things that are behind your significator, those are going to be situations from the past and then in front of situations in the future. And when we get done with laying out the cards, and I'm going to put this across. So basically what this means is you have a new opportunity coming in, but you don't necessarily see it coming. The Five of Pentacles, you feel like you're kind of left out in the cold. So these are together, and we'll figure out, once we have all the cards on the table, if there are things that you can do that will help you manifest a positive solution going into July and August for a lot of these situations. So let's look at, this is something you had control over for the past, and it is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups for you represents a time in which you had several different options, or quite a few different options there in front of you, but you're kind of just weighing them out, figuring out if any of them are what you actually want. And then we have, this is kind of more like the current situation, and it is immediately beneath you here in the reading. So how we were talking about those other two court cards that popped out, you had the Knight of Swords and you had the Queen of Pentacles. Well, now you have the Page of Swords in reverse, if that helps you figure out who's involved at all. Page of Swords, it could be an air sign. But this could also be the same person who was significated by the Knight of Wands, for example. It's kind of like a rash energy, and this could either be not knowing what to say or not having any ideas of how to move forward with a particular plan of action. So, next, what do we have? Right, so absolutely, we have the Three of Wands. And it's in the reverse. Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in. So that could be about this particular situation. And either the resolution is not coming fast enough for your liking, or there's been a deferment of this, or it's possible that this just isn't meant to happen yet in the month of July for you. Especially if you are a Aries who has either an air sign, moon sign, or air sign rising. Really feeling air sign rising. Aries with air sign rising. This is going to be kind of about you specifically. But look at all of this, okay? Look what we have here. All of these things are placed under the significator here, which means that you are the one who has control over them. Whether that means that you have plenty of things to choose from, and you would be wise to do such. Looks like, maybe you feel like you don't have any good ideas, but it's possible that you do. I'm going to pull one more card to cross this as a significator. Alright, so what we have coming out then is the Queen of Pentacles, and this time she is kind of in the reverse, but by that same token, because I've pulled her out to cross the Page of Swords, she's then neither upright nor reversed. So that is saying to you that you probably do have a lot of good ideas, but for whatever reason, you're not acting on them. This is good ideas that you're having and that you're not acting on, and therefore it's your own fault that your ships are not yet ready to come in. So let's look at the past and future for the current sphere of influence. These are things that are going on all around you. You have a certain amount of control over them, but you also have to operate within the realm of others, and therefore your influence can only extend as far as your ability to control the opinions and actions of others. Let's look at this from the past. We have another cup here, which is the Nine of Cups reversed. So it's coming on top of this card. That tells me a lot. That tells me that you had a very specific idea of what your happy ending looked like, and none of these were it. So whatever it was that you wanted wasn't available to you for whatever reason. But all of these still look like pretty good options. It's just that you were not able to see them that way. And then we also have your current situation significator already out on the table. If you don't remember, that is the Ace of Pentacles crossed by the Five of Pentacles. So there is an opportunity there, but you're not open to seeing it. The future. This is Sagittarius's card. So if you are a fire sign that has Sagittarius heavily, if you are an Aries and you have Sagittarius heavily represented in your chart, look at what areas you have Sagittarius in your chart. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, actually. Temperance is about the ability to balance, and create for yourself in your life. It's kind of like the major arcana Two of Pentacles as well, in some respects. But it's also very different. Temperance isn't just about balance. It's about command over one's surroundings. Remember also what I have said before about Liber Samek. Possibly look into the PGM if you're more interested in finding out about the headless rite or the bornless rite. Because in fact, that's ultimately the way that you could gain control over a lot of these situations in your life, as if you were actively working with entities of some kind or another. And the bornless rite is used in a lot of different magical workings. So you don't just have to be working with the Goetia to use it. You can use it whenever you want command over any spirit. But again, it's very important for you to be doing your own research on that. I'll probably do a video about it at some point, though. And now let's look at things that are beyond your control. And when I say beyond your control, I mean it in terms of it's not like things that you perceive to be beyond your control. This is more an insight into the machinations that may be going on behind the scenes, to which you are not privy. and therefore may have no idea that these things are even going on. So in the past, we have Leo's card, Strength, and it is in the reverse. To me, that speaks to a time this doesn't say that you weren't strong during that time. I think what was probably going on is that there were things going on in your life which required you to have strength. And so, as much as you were being strong, you were also more of a passive participant in whatever this was that was going on. And it being in the past, probably most of this particular series of events has kind of wrapped up by now. Let's look at, this is the current situation. And in fact, we have the Hanged Man in reverse here. The Hanged Man in the reverse is very similar to the World card upright in some ways, but kind of like the Bizarro version of that, right? This could represent you coming out of a time of great sacrifice. This could represent you being unwilling to make the sacrifices necessary for personal growth. The Hanged Man also is ruled by the element of water, so rather than being assigned to a specific astrological sign, it's assigned to the element water. And this is going to be something coming in the future over which you do not have control. And of course it's the Death card, right? Because why wouldn't it be Scorpio's card? Let's look at what we have here. This Hanged Man could also be the calm before the storm, because as I mentioned, these cards at the top, you really don't have a lot of control over. So as much as you might be experiencing other facets of this card elsewhere in the reading, in this particular instance, because this card is inverse and it's in an area that you do not control, I see it more as this is going to be, you've already shown that you have a lot of strength and that you can deal with these situations in a passive, you can be a passenger if need be. But this is going to be kind of the calm before the storm, before some very serious, well, you know, I don't know about serious or severe. It could be very good changes, but certainly changes are about to come into your life that are going to be vastly beyond your control. And again, if we look at the significator position, you see here that you have the Ace of Pentacles crossed by the Five of Pentacles, so that you really have a lot of potential for new money coming in, but right now you just feel incredibly put out. So, let's look at things that you can do in order to improve your chances, right? And let's manifest them. So, see if that'll pick up some of these beautiful colors. Yeah. All right. We've got the turquoise kind of in a line here, kind of leading up to this where you had strength over here. We have this kind of boat-shaped piece of opal pointing at this thing from your past that you had really wished would be an option to you. We've got both our fire opals down here, right by what is actually closer to being your significator. This, in the current position over which you have somewhat control, is your main significator, but it turns out that actually whatever is represented down here by this Queen of Pentacles and Page of Swords is very much more your energy right now. And we have these two fire opals right there next to that. And then we have almost like, yeah, so we have the Five of Pentacles here, but then we've got these four opals clustered here, reminding us of this Four of Cups down here at the bottom. So this is kind of like a bridge between that Four of Cups down there, reminding you, no, you actually do have quite a few options. And then, of course, this fifth opal right there. And then we do have the two opals kind of pointing here at the Temperance card, which is a further reminder that you have a lot more control over all of these parts of this situation than you are currently taking advantage of. So I think, as much as this is a general reading, and I can give you some guidance as to, can give you some guidance about what to do. It is going to be up to each individual person as to how to move forward from there. I am going to pull one more card to cross this Hanged Man here. Right, so the King of Wands, that's very much your energy, Aries. That is a fire sign energy, and the King of Wands being the the suit of wands. And again, if you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, and then you have this King of Wands coming out, that would speak to a mastery of the suit, this creative energy. Which says to me that it's up to you to get yourself out of this slump, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that there won't be change in the future. This change is going to come regardless. But it's up to you to get out of the particular slump that you're in. And there are things that you can do to figure out what this change is going to be. Because it might not be what you want otherwise. So let's think about that for a minute. You want the alternatives that you desire to be available to you. Yeah, these opals are also kind of surrounding this one turquoise. So if you are represented by that turquoise, all these opals surrounding you represent the help that you have at your disposal. Much like the cups down here. I really keep going back to this because I really think that it says a lot about the overall attitude of this reading, right? So I want you to look very closely into this quartz crystal, and I want you to think about what it is that you definitively want. What is this Nine of Cups situation from your past that you really wanted to have work out? I want you to get that feeling. I want you to reimagine that feeling, even if there's some negativity associated with it. I just want you to dredge up all of those feelings again. And then ask yourself, what was it about that was incomplete? There was something about it that was incomplete and therefore not what you desired. And it was because you can only control the people around you so much, right? How are you going to affect things in your immediate circles moving forward just slightly differently? Think about a time from your past when you did have the effect on other people that brought about the result that you desired. I'm going to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Just hold on to that feeling for a moment. Think about what it means for you in the future, what that represents for you. See if you can't transmute some of these energies to be a little more how you would prefer them to be. Right? This says basically the same thing. It's just about your perspective. On what it is that you want. All right, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, a pleasure to spend this time with you. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I love reading your comments, so you can comment as well if you have anything you'd like to say about how I've been doing the readings. And I will see you again very,